Motorcycle and truck.
Okay, we're going to be demonstrating how we load our motorcycle in the bed of our F350 pickup using our Rampage bike lift in just a minute, but I thought I'd take a moment here just to go through the parts of the Rampage so that you can see how this thing works. Okay, so here you can see the Rampage bike lift as it is installed in the bed of the pickup. It is bolted to the bed. So there are parts of it that are bolted down and the rest of it moves. There's actually 4 major components that I'm going to talk about, 3 of which move. So to start with, the bed rail is the part that is bolted to the bed of the truck. That is this first part that we see here with the labels on it and the pin going through it. Secondly, there is a sliding rail that is mounted on top of the bed rail, and that slides out on some roller bearings. And as you see up at the top of the bike lift is the cradle that the front wheel mounts into, and that actually slides itself down the sliding rail to the ground whenever we have the whole thing out. The box you see up there is the connection for the winch control line. The line you do see there is the power line that connects to the battery up under the hood through the power line connector you see up at the top of the bed. Now, the one laborious part of this whole process is that we have to remove the tailgate of our pickup here. The long bed pickup is the only one that will fully contain the motorcycle and the bike lift with the tailgate up. If you have a short bed, it's going to hang out, and we didn't want that. We wanted to be able to close the bed of the truck, so we got the long bed version. But we do have to take it off, so that takes myself and Sharon, and so we'll be doing that here shortly. We've now got the tailgate off the truck, and we're ready to start the process of bringing the slide down. So we're going to start with removing the, this is called pin 3 here. We're going to take that out. Okay, so pin 3 is removed, and we're going to start sliding this thing back out. We have to help it, the winch just pulls it up. We have to help it start back out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a pin, we're going to put it right in here. That's going to prevent the slide from going back up in the truck whenever we're working with the wheel cradle. Okay, so that comes out just like that. Now we're going to take the wheel cradle to the ground. Now then, just before we get it to the ground, because our bike has low pipes on it, we have to put a board on here to elevate the wheels. What happens if we don't is that the bike, whenever it starts to go up the ramp, it's going to drag the back of the pipe. So we don't want that. So we're going to do it this way. Okay, now we can finish lowering the cradle all the way to the ground. Okay. So now then we need to put a pin back in it to lock the cradle in place. Okay, that's going to lock the cradle because now I have to pivot the cradle all the way to the ground. Right now it's locked in up position. So we're going to take a little pressure off of the lock, like that. Then you can see it's all the way to the ground now. At this point, we're ready for the motorcycle. So now we got the bike in here, and that's in, it's got the wheel close enough into the the wheel cradle, so we will now got to get it tied in with the
straps.
So the first thing we're going to do is that the straps attach around the triple tree. So that's underneath the fairing, so that's where we want all of the strap pressure to rest, is on that triple tree. We're going to put the strap on the triple tree on this side as well, just like we did the other side. And of course what we have to do is make sure that we're not resting on any of the hydraulic lines that come underneath the fairing. So now what's going to happen as we start to pull this up, the cradle is going to rotate down. That's the first thing that's going to happen. When it does, it's going to pull these straps taut and pull the bike further into the cradle. But we have to get the straps about the right tension to start with. And we're also making sure that the bike is going to go up perpendicular to the ramp. We don't want it leaning to one side or the other. So what's going to happen is that the motorcycle, which is now locked into the wheel chock, is going to slide all the way up to the top of the sliding rail here. So that's going to be the winch pulling the wheel chock up. So here we go. All right, so now then we've got the bike all the way onto the sliding rail. Now we have to pull a pin and put a pin in. This pin here is the one that is holding the sliding rail down, so it doesn't get pulled up into the bed by the winch. This guy right here, we're going to pull that in just a moment. What we're going to do first is we're going to take this pin and put it right in here. Now this locks the wheel cradle into position at the top of the sliding rail.
This way.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
So we're just putting the pin in on it so that this thing doesn't come out. The pin doesn't come out and this doesn't move. Because the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to pull the motorcycle and the sliding rail all the way into the bed. There we go. Okay, pin's out. Now this is what we call the heart attack moment. There's going to be a place as the winch pulls it up that the back end of this is going to wobble a little precariously. We're expecting it, just what happens. But if it's your motorcycle, it's a little terrifying. If it's not your motorcycle, it's just interesting. All right, so we will take
The last pin.
our other pin and lock the sliding rail into place. All right, so this guy goes in here. There we go.
We
Okay,
have motorcycle and truck.
It's up there.
Praise the Lord.
Now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to strap it in place to the bed. Right now the only place it's strapped is to the rail. Of course the bed rail is bolted to the bed, but that's just too precarious. There's too much weight flopping back and forth as the motorcycle goes down the road. So what we're going to do is we have additional straps where it's going to get strapped in 4 places to the bed. So we're going to do that now. Okay, so we have the motorcycle in the bed of the pickup, and we've got it strapped down with these straps. You'll see we got a strap back here and a heavier one up in the front, and it just attaches up there to the same strap that goes around the triple tree and is pulled taut down here, and we have one on the other side obviously. And so that's the one, these are the ones that really hold the bike while we're traveling. Got the flags down, so we'll roll the flags up here in a few minutes. And yep, the bike looks pretty good. Sitting up square is what we want. And I think we're ready to put the tailgate on and go back to the camper.
usually locks just slides right into place, but right now it's not wanting to, so naturally. It's because we have the camera on. If we turn the camera off for a minute, it'll work fine. There we go. Did you turn the camera off? No? Okay. Here we go. And it helps a lot if you have it in neutral.
Oh, okay.